So let's see how quickly we can get you up to speed on using Audacity to remove noise from your audio files. First thing is, if you're not using Audacity, you should. Here's where you can download it directly, audacityteam.org. Be very wary. There are lots of bait and switch URLs out there. I always tell people, don't forget, sourceforge.net is entirely reliable, and you can even start there. Let's open Audacity. Don't forget, it's got a decent help section. It's got a lot more advanced features than we're going to show you right now. First thing I need to do is simply bring in my audio file. So here's something I recorded in a noisy environment, and this is what it sounds like to start with.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise. I want to turn this into a more usable audio file.
The first thing I want to note is that what you are looking for to start with is an area where we hear just the noise. Ideally, in a perfect world, it's just noise, nothing else. I can see that there is not only a lip smack here, but also a bird tweeted in the background. I can see it a little bit on this file, and I happen to have heard it when it happened. So I'm going to avoid both of these areas. I could use the area in between. I have an even slightly longer area over here. You generally only want an audio sample that's a second, maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds probably tops. Once you have that area selected, it's a good idea to play it back and make sure that it's just noise. And as it is, the next step is to go to Effects, Noise Reduction. Choose Get Noise Profile, and that has made a sample of this area. Now what I'm going to do is sample just the part that I'm going to use. It could be the whole entire audio file, but I have all this extra stuff I don't want here, so I'm not going to do that. Go back to Effect, Noise Reduction, and this time we're going to use the sliders and listen to the result. I suggest you keep the noise reduction as low as possible while still getting good results. I'm looking at the fader as 0% to 100%, and I think of this as somewhere in the 30% zone. The number here indicated is 14. Same is true with sensitivity, but I might go a little higher, a little closer to 50%, which is 11.5 or 12. The frequency smoothing, I actually usually jack all the way up to the maximum, and unless it creates a problem, I leave it there. Now we can preview and see how it sounds.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise. I want to turn this into a more...
It's not perfect. I might be able to make some tweaks, do a little more here, a little more there. Check again.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise.
Too much and things will start to sound like they're underwater. Let's say this is okay. I do that, and now because I did not remove the noise from this earlier part, you can hear the difference.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise. I want to turn this into a more usable audio file.
These areas before and after are superfluous, so I will delete them, select them and hit delete. And with what's remaining, one other thing I can mention is that a lot of times, and this is the case here, I will go use graphic EQ to sort of sweeten the quality of the sound. In this case, I find it too boomy, too much bass. So here I have a curve I've created to reduce that bass. I'll say preview.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise.
That sounds more natural. There are a few things I might improve on it. You have to know EQ before this makes much sense to you, but if you are familiar with it and think of this as bass, middle, and treble, you can make some adjustments. You can always preview, and if you don't like the results, don't use it. You can flatten the curve at any time to go back to the 0 position. Say OK, listen to the results.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise.
If I'm not sure, I can undo and compare.
So here's a recording with lots of background noise.
They're not much different, but I believe I prefer the EQ'd version. Now I'm ready to export. That's right, I said export. A common mistake with Audacity is to save the project, expecting to be able to play that audio or share it with someone or work on it in another location. Saving the project is only useful for Audacity, so generally that's only if you want to come back and do something else. What we usually do is export, and that creates a usable audio file that I can bring into my video editing software or Logic or anything else for that matter. We'll just save that right here, and I'll be sure to rename that as cleaned VO demo. Save. You can use the tags in the metadata or not. I'll say OK, and that's all there is to it. Take care, and remember you can always ask questions. Look for more of these videos on this channel.